about 10 Second Ninja.
Okay, so 10 Second Ninja is a blisteringly fast 2D platformer where you have 10 seconds to eliminate all of the robots in the level, and you are a ninja. It's kind of like Super Meat Boy with like a kind of puzzle game twist, because you're thinking very objectively about like how you're navigating the levels and where you can trim down time. The better time you get, the better rating you get. So it starts off easy enough just trying to kind of navigate these levels, but then it gets really difficult. You really have to think very objectively about like how you interact with a platformer in a traditional way.
Cool. And of course, they're Nazi robots as well.
They are Nazi robots from space. They're very evil.
How did you come up with a gameplay hook of like a level 10 seconds long?
So I got it. I was playing another game called Stardust, which is a really, really good platformer. And I thought that's what they'd done. I thought it was like a game where you had to complete levels in these like really like tight time limits. It was only when I actually failed a level, I failed to get the time level and realised that it was like an optional objective. I was like, why hasn't someone actually made a game out of that? You could totally like condense a platformer into this really like tight look at like how you interact with platformers and like just how important like your jump timing can be and all this stuff. So I started like playing around with it from there and started showing it to my friends, and I got really positive reaction, and it was very clear early on that like there was something in this.
Yeah.
So it kind of started like that. It was a few years ago now.
Yeah. Have you got any plans to release the game on mobile? Because it's very like pick up and play, like you can't commute, 10 seconds to play.
It's something that we've looked at, something that we've been thinking about a lot. It's kind of difficult. We've tried it, and touch controls really aren't precise enough for it. I mean, it's one of those things where like we struggle even now. Like if we play it on keyboard, like it's just about there. But some people really do struggle on keyboard, and trying to take some touch screens, it's like we haven't yet found a way to make it precise enough to feel really good and feel really fair. I don't know, maybe if like Android controllers take off or like iOS controllers, something like, then we'll look at it again, so if we can make that work, they become widely used. Because something we'd like to do, it's definitely like something that would be cool. We're not really sure if we can do that yet.
What tips have you got for noobs like me who aren't very good at these kind of hardcore kind of platform games?
I guess in this case, like, think really, really objectively. Like, think about it way more intensely than you would any other game. There's less to it, so it's like it's a very simple game. But think about like how important every minute thing is. Like if you like do a double jump and you are like pressing jump button, then at the top of your arc pressing jump button again, but you want to land on the platform sooner, like press the double jump button quicker, because then you'll land on the platform sooner and you'll shave off like 0.5 of a second, and that will be like the difference between you getting a bad score and a good score. So I'd say that's like your main thing. Like think really objectively and like just keep trying it. All you need is like to get into that Zen state where you're not really thinking, you're just doing it.
Very ninja. Yes.
Exactly. That was intentional.
Do you know the world record in completing all the levels and getting all 3 stars in 10 seconds?
Oh god, it's not off the top of my head. I know it's around 100 seconds, which when you spend
how many levels are there again?
There's 40 levels in the game. So once you realise that like you've spent years and years of your life making this game, and that someone can complete it in under 2 minutes, you get this weird mixed sensation of both pride and absolute shame. But it's good. Like the leaderboards are ridiculous. Like I'm like 300 on the leaderboards. It's like I'm nowhere near good enough at the game considering I made it.
It must be amazing to see what the community can do as well.
It is like it's really bizarre watching someone play through all your levels back to back and doing it so quick and quicker than you ever can. And like occasionally you'll see like a route through a level that I just hadn't thought of. And that's really cool. But it's bizarre. It's a really weird feeling.
Moving on to Castles in the Sky, which is a very different game. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So Castles in the Sky is a 10-minute long kind of bedtime story-esque game. It's very, very passive. You can't really fail the game. It's just a game about like jumping on clouds and feeling calm, and it's kind of a kind of exploration of like childhood nostalgia and trying to get that feeling back. So it's very, very calm. It's very much just about like the tone. It's not about like mechanics or objectives or anything like that. It's very much just like the gameplay is there to set a tone. And we really just want to provide like a nice little small, concise experience that didn't outstay its welcome. The game went on to do reasonably well. We got a BAFTA nomination for it in 2014. and it was pretty well received. So yeah.
I noticed Genova Chen stated something about the game. That's something great to hear.
Okay, so yes, basically, Flower on PS3 was like the game that made me completely reevaluate how I looked at games. I'd never before thought about games being this passive thing.
Yeah.
And like Flower's always in the back of my mind, especially if I'm working on a game like that. And Journey's obviously a masterpiece. Like I adore Journey, I really do. And it was one of those weird things where we were just like, we'd finished the game and we were looking for quotes to see if like people did like the game and stuff. And we just thought we'd send him an email, and we didn't expect anything back, but he sent us this lovely email back saying like, played it, it was really, really sweet. And that meant the world to me. Like that's one of the most proud moments I've had in my career so far. Was like getting an email back from getting an email back from Genova and like that. And yeah.
What can we expect from you in the future?
That's a difficult question. So, more Tentacle Ninja stuff we're looking at. We've got some things coming up in the next 6 months or so. Working quite hard on. We're sort of taking another look at Tentacle Ninja, seeing what we can do differently with it. So, more Tentacle Ninja stuff. If you like Tentacle Ninja, that. Also, we're working on another project which we probably won't be announcing for about a year or so. But that's going to be this kind of procedurally generated thing. I won't talk about too much because in one, I can kind of give the game away in one sentence, and I won't.
No, I want to be surprised.
But yeah, so I'm working on quite a diverse mix of things. This procedural thing's a nice change from Tentacle Ninja, which was very much structured levels that I'd built. It's very nice working with procedural generation and having situations that I can't predict play out, and that's really, really fun after something that was so repetitive to develop.